Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are at my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online. Am I audible, guys? Please confirm to me. All of you are at my voice on screen. Am I audible? Please confirm to me, guys. All of you are at my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online. Yeah. Thank you, Nishu Singh. Thank you. All right, sir. Now check it what we completed in the last session. So I think so we are discussing about Java programming format topic here we are discussing there. In that Java programming format, what we are understanding there up to now. So to prepare basic Java program, we have to use the following format. What format here we have to use? Comment section, package section, import section, classes or interfaces section, main class section. These things here we have to use. Comment section, if you observe this comment section, in Java application development, it's a convention to provide some details about the project in the present Java file, where the details include author name, objective, client details, modules details, and so on. To provide the above data, in Java files, we have to use the comment section, where we will use comments. The non-executable part in Java program is a comment. Comments are not going to be executed. In Java applications, comments are able to provide description about the application to the developers for understanding the project. For understanding purpose only, comments are provided. Comments are not for any other reason. Comments are provided for only understanding purpose, understanding for the developer. All right, next one. In Java, how many types of comments are available? 3 types of comments are available. What are the 3 types of comments now? Single line comment, multi-line comment, and documentation comment. What is this single line comment actually? It allows the complete description in a single line. What is the syntax for it now? Double slashes description. Class math, int add, int fl, comma, int sl, something else I have written. There are given some description about this particular method. It will perform arithmetic addition. Multi-line comment, it allows the complete description in more than one line. It allows the complete description in what there? More than one line. Syntax is like what there? Slash star and some specification star slash. Next one is what there? Class math. Some information you have given. Int add, int fl, come int sl, something else here we provided. Some description I provide in the form of like what there? Multiple lines, more than one line. Here we are providing clearly. Next one is after this documentation comment. It allows the complete description in more than one page. It allows the complete description in what there? More than one page. Syntax here we provided like this. Slash double star. Every line is started with what there? Star only. At the end star slash. In general, in Java applications, documentation comments are used to prepare API documentations. Documentation comments are used to prepare API documentations for the Java applications. What is this API documentation? This is a question. What is the meaning of API documentation? API documentation is a document in the form of a text file or a doc file or a PDF file. It is able to provide the complete description of the programming elements like classes, variables, methods, constructors, and so on, which we used in the present Java application. Java has provided the complete API documentation to describe the Java predefined library. Right, sir. Example here I'm giving there, where we can get this predefined documentation for Java library. Yeah, this is a location. For 8th version, we are getting it. Similarly, we can get the documentation up to 20th version also. Just in place of 8, you can provide 20, then we are able to get the API documentation up to 20th version. Then I give in one point here. What is that point here I given there? Now tell me. To simplify API documentation creation, Java has provided a predefined command in the form of what command here? No, Java doc command. Good sir. For the sake of your awareness purpose, I'm going to show an example on the basis of Java doc, but no need to practice immediately that. Why? Because if you want to practice that example, you must have Java software in our computer. As of now, we have not installed Java software in our computer, right? So that's why, just for the sake of your awareness, I'm going to show this program. After installation of the Java software, after getting clarity on first program, then we can execute this program, then we are able to get some output. Okay, first of all, let me take this now. What is that example here I'm telling there? Again, I'm telling there, this example is not for any particular requirement. This example is for the sake of providing API documentation. I want to generate API documentation, so I need a program. For that purpose only, I'm going to write this program. Everybody understand it clearly. Right, sir. // Java 11.3.0, for example, I'm going to provide. Now inside this, I'm going to take the file like what there, employee.java file I'm going to take. First of all, let me check this location here now. E drive, then inside this E drive, D drive, what's the location here I specified here? D drive I want to take. Right, sir. Now Java 11.3.0. Anyway, that location is not available. Let me create a folder. Java 11.3.0. Now inside this, I want to prepare something else like what there, apps, some folder here I'm creating. Now inside this, I want to prepare this. Apps employee.java. Right. Now here I need to prepare this content. Program, small program I'm preparing just for the sake of API documentation only I'm preparing this. Otherwise, no need to think much about it. Public class employee. Public class employee. Observe carefully, public class employee. Now inside this employee class, public class employee. Now inside this, what we have to do now? Public int env, public string ename, public float esal, public string eaddr. These are the variables what we have taken. Variables here we have taken. What variables now? env, ename, esal, and eaddr. 4 variables I have taken. Next one. Public employee int env. It is not a method, it is a constructor. Same class name and this constructor name must be same. No return type, no access modifiers. So this is a constructor. Next one more constructor int env comma string ename. One more constructor int env comma string ename comma float esal. One more constructor int env comma string ename comma float esal comma string eaddr. Like this, how many constructors can be provided here? 4 constructors I provided. Similarly, public void add of into env comma string ename comma float esal comma string eaddr. Next one is what there? Public void search of into env. Right. Second method we have taken public void update of into env, then string ename float esal string EADDR, public void delete of int ENO. Right, now see this one, my class employee is ready. Now inside my class employee, what I provided here, now try to observe this clearly. First of all, we provided like what there, 4 variables. Now tell me how many constructors can we provided? 4 constructors can we provided. After that, how many methods can we provided here? No, 4 methods can we provided. Everything 4 here we provided. Let me check this now. Alright, sir. Now get the Java 1130 apps. Now here I want to save with the employee.java. Right, sir. One point here I'm telling you before going to start this one. To simplify API documentation creation, Java has provided a predefined command in the form of like what there, Java doc command. There is a small note. Java doc command is able to provide the API documentation in the form of now tell me API documentation in the form of like what their HTML files. That a Java doc command is able to prepare the API documentation in the form of HTML files. See this now? My program is ready. 4 variables, 4 constructors, 4 methods, 1 class. I saved it. Open the command prompt. Go to the location where we have saved it. At which location we have saved it now? d:/cd Java 1130 cd apps. In this location only it is available. No need to compile, no need to execute it. Directly we can use what there, Java doc space file name. What is that file name here? No, employee.java. Java doc space employee.java. Click on enter button. There we are getting some information. Now please read out this information here. What is generated here? Now tell me, generating what files here? No, HTML files are generated or not? Generating HTML files. Okay, fine. Go to that location here. All the HTML files are available. Now this is like what there, employee.html. Double click on it. Now it will be open in browser. This is API documentation for our employee class, employee file. API documentation, class employee, fields in the sense like what there, variables data, ENO, ename, ESAL and EADDR. Constructors details, how many constructors are available? 4 constructors, all are provided here clearly. Next one is methods details. What methods are available here? Now tell me. Add, delete, search and update. All the 4 methods are available. Again, variables in detailed information. Variables what there? In detailed information. So here we have to provide public int ENO, public java.lang.string ename like this, ESAL, EADDR, variables in detailed information here we are providing. Constructors details. What are these constructors details here we are getting there? Right, sir. Now 1 argument constructor, 2 argument constructors, 3 argument constructors, 4 arguments constructor. Methods in detailed information, add method, corresponding data, search method, data, update method, delete method. So everything about my program is available in this document or not? This is nothing but what there, API documentation. This part is nothing but what there, API documentation. So clear or not? Here we are getting like what there, API documentation. Leave this one. After understanding this API documentation, what next one here I'm telling you. All of you have to carefully. Let me take this program now. After this, now I want to take this command also on command prompt so that we are able to perform the respective operation. Leave this one. This is completed. After completion of this particular one, after understanding this, another one, I want to give one small point here. Try to understand. First of all, tell me, all of you now tell me, how many types of comments are available in Java? 3 types. What are the 3 types of comments in Java? Single line comment, multi-line comment, documentation comment. Please remember this. Out of all the types of comments, out of all the types of comments, only documentation comments provided data will be provided or will be listed. Only documentation commented provided data will be included in the API documentation which we created from Java doc command. That's it. Please read out this point here. What's the point here I'm telling to you? Out of all the types of comments, only documentation comments provided data will be included in the API documentation which we created from Java doc command. Yes, sir. All of you are getting it or not? Right, sir. Now let me show this example also. So ENO is one of the variable. For this, I'm using single line comment with some description. Now, I want to say like what there, single line comment. It represents employee number. For the C name, I'm going to provide multi-line comment. Multi-line comment. It represents employee name. Okay. Next one is documentation comment. It represents employee salary. That's it. For variables, I provided all 3 comments or not? What are all 3 comments I provided for variables? No. Single line comment, multi-line comment, then what next one? Documentation comment. All 3 types of comments can be provided for these variables. That's okay, fine. For constructors also here I want to provide. For the first constructor, single line comment is able to create employee object with ENO. Multi-line comment is able to create employee object with ENO ename. Okay. Next one is documentation comment. It's able to create employee object with ENO ename eSal. Right, provided here. That's okay. All right, now this time we need to provide for what their methods. For methods also here I want to provide like what there comments, all three types of comments here I want to provide. Now single line comment, it's able to add employee to database. Multi-line comment. Now here it's able to search an employee in a database. Next one is update. Now inside this, what we have to provide there, it's able to perform updations in the database table. Same example. In the same example, at each and every location I provided what their comments. Comments I provided clearly. You can understand now. Alright. Java C, not Java C, Java doc employee.java. Java doc space employee.java. Of course, these are warning messages. No need to think about these warning messages. No, leave this one. They are not giving any effect in our program execution. Now here we have to use the same thing. Now we have to understand it clearly. What comments are provided in the documentation? What exactly the comments are provided in the documentation, that we have to understand. All right, sir. Class employee, it's okay. See now here, what comment here provided? No, now tell me. For ESL, we are providing what comment? Documentation comment. Have you seen any single line comment and multi-line comment? No. No, we have not seen any single line comment and multi-line comment for the variables. Only documentation comment is displayed. Right, sir. Now here constructors. No, for each and every constructor I provided some comment here, but only which comment is provided here? No, documentation comment is provided here. It is able to create employee object with ENO, ename and ESL. Observe carefully. Next one is methods also. What method here it is able to provide here? Right, sir. Now here what we are getting there now, documentation comment. It is able to perform updations in the database table. Right, sir. Now completed. These are like what there. In detailed information is provided for each and every variable. At variable, all right, so now here ESL documentation comment is provided. For methods, at another, for constructors, at a constructor, we are getting like what there documentation comments. For methods, in a particular method, update method, we have what there documentation comment. Now it is able to provide some description. Like this here, we are able to provide the documentation, that means comments or documentation comments inside like what there inside the respective API documentation. Right, sir. Now what is the point I said? You know, tell me, out of all the types of comments, only documentation comments provided data will be included in the API documentation which we created from Java doc command. Right, sir. Now this is an example here we have to provide. Try to recognize this. Right, sir. Now it's okay. Now overall, this content is completed here that we have to understand. It's okay, fine. So this is about like what their comment section and comments, that part here we understood. But one more thing I'm telling to you, try to recognize this point here. Listen carefully. In Java applications, to provide description, JDK 1.5 version has provided a new feature in the form of JDK 1.5 version has provided a new feature in the form of annotations. Right, sir. In Java applications, to provide description in Java applications, JDK 1.5 version has provided new features in the form of annotations. Then immediately, if we are getting this particular one, immediately we are getting a question. What is the question here we are getting there? All of you observe carefully. To provide a description in Java applications, we have already comments. Already we have seen that to provide description, we have already comments. Then what is the requirement to use annotations? What is the requirement to use what are their annotations? This part here we have to understand now. Tell me, sir, what is the question here I'm asking there? To provide description in Java applications, we have comments already. Then what is the requirement to go with what are their annotations? This is the question here, what we are getting clear. Now I'm giving some answers to you. Now try to understand it clearly, all of you know. First of all, tell me, directly I'm asking this question here. My question is, compilation part you already aware. In the compilation might be how many phases are available? Like 4 phases are available. Preprocessor, as a compiler, assembler, loader, linker, editor. Yes, sir. Am I right or not? If you observe this compiler part, how many parts are available? 6 parts are available. What are the 6 parts in the compiler? No. Lexical analysis space, syntax analysis space, semantic analysis space, intermediate code generation, code optimization. Then what next one? No? Code generation. Yes, sir. Am I right or not? These many phases are available clearly. Right, sir. It's okay, fine. Where? What is the job of the lexical analysis space? What exactly the job of the lexical analysis space? I'm asking this question to you know. Lexical analysis space. What is the job now? It will perform tokenization. Lexical analysis space is performing what there? Tokenization. What is the meaning of tokenization? Lexical analysis space will perform tokenization. Then what is the meaning of tokenization? Understand it clearly. Dividing program into the number of pieces. Program is available, that entire program will be divided into the number of pieces, where each and every piece is called as a token. Got or not? Come again, what's the point I'm telling to you know? I think already we have some diagrammatic view also about this content here. Right. Here we can understand this diagram. C program here, compilation, preprocessor, compiler, assembler, loader, link editor, compiler. Odd phases are available in the compiler. No. Lexical analysis space, syntax analysis, semantic analysis, intermediate code generation, code optimization, then what next one here? No, code generation. These are overall phases are valid. Now I'm talking about lexical analysis phase. What is the job of the lexical analysis phase? No, performing tokenization is the job of the lexical analysis phase. What is the meaning of tokenization actually? If you have a program, that entire program will be divided into number of pieces, where each and every piece is called as a token. Finally, number of tokens are generated. Remember this punch. Now I'm giving clarity, try to understand it. No, I prepared a program. In my program, I have provided some comments and some description. Description I provided with what their comments. I compiled my program. When I compiled my program, lexical analysis phase is performing tokenization. When it is performing tokenization, if it identifies any comment and its a description, simply lexical analysis phase will send that comment and its a description to outside. Lexical analysis phase will remove comment and its a description from Java application. It will not include the comments and its description in our Java application. Part of the compilation, lexical analysis phase will remove the comments and its description from Java program. The provided comment and its description is available up to .java file only, but it is not going to be available up to .class file and runtime of our applications. Yes, sir. I'll forget my point or not. Again, understand this point. No, if I compile a Java file which includes comments and its description, lexical analysis phase will remove the comments and its description from Java program. It will be available up to .java file only. It will not be available to .class file and up to runtime of our applications. Yes, sir. I'll forget it or not. What's the point I'm telling you? Okay, fine. Now let me provide this punch here. Then after that, I'll move on to the next one. Now, here, understand this point clearly. What is the point I'm telling here? First one is what there in Java applications. In Java applications, if we provide comments, if we provide a description along with the comments, if we provide description along with the comments, then the lexical analyzer will remove comments and its description from the Java application. Okay, lexical analyzer will remove comments and its description from the Java application. So comments and its description is available up to .java file only. It's not available to the .class file and up to runtime of the application. Yes, sir. I'll forget my point or not. So comments and description is available up to .java file only. It is not available to the .class file and up to runtime of our application. But I have a separate requirement. What is my requirement here? All of you have to carefully. As per the application requirements, like number one, to simplify debugging process. Next one is to simplify testing process. For the database related applications. And for the server side applications and so on. So many requirements are available. As per the application requirements, like because of these requirements, we have to bring a description. We have to bring description up to .java, up to .java comma, up to .class file, up to .class file, and up to runtime of our application. As per the application requirements, like what there, debugging process simplification, testing process simplification, database related applications and server side applications, we have to bring description up to .java, up to .class and up to runtime of the application. For this requirement, we have to use annotations. We have to use what there, annotations instead of comments. We have to use what there, annotations instead of comments. Sir, all of you are getting it or not? We have to use like what there, annotations instead of what there, comments. Answer my point here. So we have a question now. What about our question here? What is the requirement to go for annotations over the comments? What are the differences between comments and annotations? Comments are available with our program up to compilation only. Once the compilation is done, no chances of maintaining the comments and its a description in .class file and runtime of our application. But if you want to bring description up to runtime of our application, up to like what their .class file and up to source file, up to .java file, there we have to use like what their annotations. That is a requirement here. We have to understand now. Right, sir. It's okay, fine. After completion of this, after completion of this particular content here, what next one here we are understanding? Okay, then immediately we are getting one more question. What about this question now? Observe carefully. To provide description at runtime, to provide description at runtime of the application, to provide description at runtime of the applications, we have already XML documents. We have already like what there, XML documents. Then what is the requirement? What is the requirement to use annotations? That's it. Previously, when we asked the question, what are the differences between comments and annotations? They are given the point here. What's the point here? To bring a description up to runtime of our application, we have to use annotations where comments are not sufficient. But now, what is the question I'm asking there? To provide description at runtime of the application, already we have XML documents. We are able to use XML documents. Already we have this solution. Then what is the requirement to use annotations? What is the requirement to go for annotations even if we are having these like what they XML documents? Right. Now here we have to understand answer for this. Now try to recognize this. What is the point here I'm telling to you? Observe carefully. First of all, tell me what is this XML actually? Is that XML is part of the Java and outside of the Java? XML is what there? Part of the Java and outside of the Java? Outside of the Java. It is not inside the Java. XML is a separate technology. Extensible markup language. XML is a separate technology. It is not the part of the Java. Okay. If it is not the part of Java, but how developers are aware about this particular technology? How developers knows about it? No, developers are not having any awareness on it. So the point is what? If they want to use XML technology, XML documents for our applications, there we have to learn XML technology separately. Explicitly we have to learn what their XML technology. It's a burden to the Java developers. Learning XML technology is what their burden to the Java developers. Better not? Okay, now understand it clearly. If we use XML documents, in Java applications, then we are able to get the following problems. Right, sir. What are the problems here we are able to get? First one is like what there? We must learn XML technology. We must learn what there? XML technology. Okay, fine. Okay, for example, as per the requirement, I learn XML technology. Then I need to prepare XML document or not? I have to prepare XML document or not? How I'm going to prepare this XML document? No, we are going to prepare the XML document with the well-formedness. Every XML document must be in a well-formed format. Then only we can use that XML document in our applications. That XML document must be in what format here? No, well-formed format. Are I forget my point or not? The same point here we have to understand. Every time we have to check. Every time we have to check whether the XML document, is in a well-formed format or not. This is extra work for us. Every time we have to check whether the XML document is in well-formed format or not. What is the meaning of well-formed format? No, for checking well-formed format, a set of rules and regulations are available. What are the rules and regulations? No, first one is like what I'm telling there. Entire document must have a single root. For every open tag, there must be a closed tag, matched closed tag. Attributes must be provided in an order, not in our own order. Like this, here we are getting like what are there? Some rules and regulations. If any document is satisfying these rules and regulations, then the document is like what there? Directly XML document. Okay, fine. Every time we have to check whether that XML document is in well-formed format or not. Leave this one. Next one is okay. I aware about like XML documents. The next one is like what there? Our XML document is in well-formed format. That is confirmed. After that, we have to keep that XML document in a particular location or not. From that location, we have to read the data from XML document or not. So every time what it is doing there, observe carefully. Every time we have to check. Every time we have to check. Right, sir. Whether every time we have to check whether the provided XML document, is available at a proper locations or not. Proper locations or not. If it is not in proper locations, there we are able to get file not found exceptions. If it is not in proper location, then we are able to get what there? File not found exception. That's one point here. Every time we have to check whether the provided XML document is available at proper locations or not. Next one is what there? Every time we have to check. Okay, but before that, understand it. No, I understood XML. I prepared an XML file. I saved that XML file in a particular location. It's okay. Everything is okay. Remaining part is what? We have to read data from the XML document. To read data from XML document, we have to use parsing mechanisms. To read data from XML document, what we have to use there? Parsing mechanisms here we have to use. But the point is what there? Every time we have to check whether we are using right parsing mechanism or not. Every time we have to check whether we are using right parsing mechanism or not. Observe carefully. In order to in order to read data. That's it. Now these are overall the drawbacks what you are getting with this XML documents. Now tell me, what are the various drawbacks are available with XML documents? No, first developers must aware about like what their XML technology. Second one is what there, every time we have to check whether the XML document is in a well-formed format or not. Next one is what there, every time we have to check whether the provided XML document is available at proper locations or not. Every time we have to check whether we are using the right parsing mechanism or not in order to read data. These are overall problems with like what their XML documents. Right, sir. Now the point is like what there, to overcome all the above problems, we need a Java alternative. To overcome all the above problems, we need a Java alternative. What is that alternative here? That is, what is that alternative actually? That is annotations. Right, so to overcome all the above problems, we need a Java alternative. That is what their annotations. Annotations is a Java feature. It is a part of the Java. No need to learn separately. Automatically, we can learn part of the Java. But XML is totally outside technology. Okay. Right, sir. Next one is like what there. No need to check whether document is in well-formed format or not. No need to check whether we are using right parsing mechanisms or not. No need to check all these things here. Directly we can use like what their annotations. Because of this reason only, annotations are getting very good demand. Now at present, every programming language they are using like what their annotations, especially Java related. Okay, now okay, one small note here I'm telling to you. Observe carefully the note. No, all of you observe carefully. In Java J2EE applications, in Java J2EE applications, Java J2EE applications, annotations are the best replacement for what their XML documents. That's it. Annotations are the best replacement for what their XML documents. Okay, good. Anyway, in place of this XML, we can use like what their annotations. But here I have a question. What about my question here? Which technologies are using XML and which technologies are using annotations? No. What versions are supporting XML and what versions are supporting like what their these annotations? You know, that information also we have to understand. That's why here I'm going to give some clarity. XML based technologies. Next one is like what their annotation based technologies. Just comparison chart here I'm providing here. XML based technologies and annotation based technologies. First one is up to JDK 1.5 version. Annotation based is like what there, right from which version of the Java onwards here we are getting there. JDK 1.5 version onwards. It's available. I think so. Now if it is the case, I want to give like what there, JDK 1.4. All right, so JDK 1.5 version onwards, annotation support is available. Next one after that, JDBC 3.x version 3.0 is XML based JDBC. All right, sir. Now we can understand it. No, 4.x version is annotation based. JDBC 4.x version. Next one is after this, servlets 2.5 version. Up to that, XML configurations only. Servlets 3.x version onwards is what they're totally annotation based. Struts 1.x version is XML. Now struts 2.x version is totally like what they're annotation based. JSF 1.x version is totally like what their XML based. JSF 2.x version is totally what their annotation based. That's it. Next one is after this EJB is 2.x version XML based. EJB is 3.x version onwards and above. These are like what their, this is about like what their EJB is like what their annotation based. Next one is after that Spring 2.5 version. Up to that it's like what their XML based. Right sir. Now Spring 3.x version onwards, sorry, Spring up to 2.4 only, but Spring 2.5x version onwards, 2.x version, then we are able to get like what are the annotations. Right sir. Now like this, get so many technologies, just examples only here I provided. No, so many technologies here we are getting clearly. So but now if you observe all these points now, all the older versions are using what their XML, all the newer versions are using what their annotation based. But observe carefully, in annotation based XML is optional. I think we are aware about the meaning now. XML is what their optional. In the case of like what their annotation based, what's the meaning of it now? Even though annotations we are using in our Java applications, but still we can use what their XML based also, but it is optional. It's not mandatory to use. Optionally we can use it. That's it. Now this is the total awareness here. How this what next one here? Annotation based technologies and XML based technologies here we are getting clearly. That's it. Now this is about like what the first phase. What is the first phase here? No, comment section. That part here we have to understand now. Got or not? Right. So then after this, after completion of this first one, next one is like what their package section that we have to understand. Package section here we have to understand. Okay. Let's do one thing. Just 10 minutes before I'm leaving now, I have some work there. Tomorrow I'll continue this part here. Don't worry. Tomorrow and day of tomorrow we'll finish this part here. After that we are going to start like what their steps to prepare first application development. Continuation that Monday onwards, everybody has to come for at what time there. No, see, actually I want to give the schedule at Thursday, right? Thursday onwards here we are planning there, but a small change in that, not on Thursday. Monday onwards we have to attend at what time here? At 10 o'clock. Okay, Monday onwards here we have to go for it. But meanwhile I'm going to complete like what there this first unit within 2 days of time. That first unit will be completed. After that I will start steps to prepare first Java application. Right, after that continuously we have to attend at what time here? 10 to 11:30. Understand it clearly. But few classes we have to attend at 11:30 to 1 also, but few more days we are going to attend for it. But anyway, once again, time to time I'm going to give schedule for you. Now try to attend for it. Okay, right sir. Then tomorrow that at 11:30 I will start your class. Tomorrow we are going to discuss about this packages section. Right, thank you, thanks a lot. We'll meet on tomorrow. Parsing is nothing but reading the data from like what their XML document. For that purpose, we are going to use some parsing mechanisms. That's the point. Issue. Sir, understand it? What I'm telling there? Reading the data. That's it. Reading the data from XML document is nothing but what they're parsing, not more than that. ASCII is nothing but like what their ASCII codes, like character representations. 65 for capital A and 66 for capital B, like this ASCII codes are available. నేను చెప్తా క్లాస్లో చెప్తా క్లియర్గా చెప్తా. నేను ఒకసారి తెలుసుకోండి అంతే, అంతే గురించి ఏం అవసరం లేదు. ప్రోగ్రామ్ చెప్పినప్పటి నుంచి కంటిన్యూస్ అయిపోవచ్చు. చెప్తానండి. అది జస్ట్ ఏంటంటే ఆల్టర్నేటివ్ గా అని చెప్పి గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. @ సమ్ నేమ్ వస్తుంది. అనటేషన్ అంటే జనరల్గా మనం ఏదైనా ఒక ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ రిప్రజెంట్ చేయడానికి జావా ప్రోగ్రామ్ అనటేషన్ యూజ్ చేస్తాం. అంటే కామెంట్స్ రీప్లేస్మెంట్ గా, XML డాక్యుమెంట్స్ కి రీప్లేస్మెంట్ గా అనటేషన్స్ యూజ్ చేస్తాం అంతే. కానీ అనటేషన్ పెద్ద టాపిక్ మనకు ఉంది, మళ్ళీ వస్తుంది పెద్ద, మళ్ళీ ఇదంతా చెప్తా మళ్ళీ మీకు. థ్యాంక్ యూ. పైథాన్లో పిఈపి పెప్ అది ఇన్స్టాలేషన్ కోసం యూజ్ చేసేది కదా టూల్. అది అది డాక్యుమెంట్ ఏపీఐ డాక్యుమెంట్ దానిలో కూడా డాక్యుమెంటేషన్ ఉంటుంది పైథాన్కి వేరే. కానీ పైథాన్లో టూల్ ఏం లేదు సపరేట్గా ఏపీఐ డాక్యుమెంట్ ప్రిపేర్ చేయడానికి. జావాలో టూల్ ఉంది మనకి, జావా డాక్ అనేది ఉంది అంతే. పెప్ అనేది ఏంటి, వేరే ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయడానికి యూజ్ చేస్తాం పైథాన్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళాలంటే దేనికంటే నేను ఏదైనా ఒక లైబ్రరీ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసుకుంటున్నా. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ పాండాస్ ఉంది నాకు, పాండాస్ కానీ లేకుంటే మ్యాట్ప్లాట్లిబ్ ఉంది, సిబోన్ ఉంది. ఇవన్నీ లైబ్రరీస్ మన బై డిఫాల్ట్ గా పైథాన్లో ఉండిపోవచ్చు, లేకపోవచ్చు, అవి ఉన్నాయి. అప్పుడు నేనేం చేయాలి, ఆ లైబ్రరీని ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసుకోవాలి. పెప్ కమాండ్ యూజ్ చేసుకుంటాను. పెప్ కమాండ్ యూజ్ చేసుకుంటే ఆటోమేటిక్గా కావాల్సిన లైబ్రరీని ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. అది ఎక్కడ ఇంపోర్ట్ ఆడేది, ఇక్కడ జావాలో మీరు అంటుంది. పైథాన్ ఇంపోర్ట్ వాడతాము. ఇంపోర్ట్ అక్కడ స్ట్రక్చర్ వేరేగా ఉంటుంది. ఈ జావాలో కూడా ఇంపోర్ట్ యూజ్ చేస్తాం కదా మనం. ఇప్పుడు మీకు వస్తుంది ప్యాకేజ్ సెక్షన్ చెప్తున్నా కదా, దీని తర్వాత ఇంపోర్ట్ సెక్షన్ వస్తుంది, అక్కడ చెప్తా క్లియర్ కదా. మీరు పైథాన్ నుంచి జావా కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవుతారు. జావా నుంచి పైథాన్ కంప్లీట్ డెడ్ ఈజీ. ఇది అసలు ఫస్ట్ నేర్చుకుని పైథాన్ అయితే డెడ్ ఈజీ. మీరు పైథాన్ కొంత అవేర్నెస్ ఉంటుంది, దాన్ని జావాలో కంపేర్ చేసుకోవద్దు, బుక్ అయిపోతుంది మొత్తం, కన్ఫ్యూజన్ వస్తాయి. జస్ట్ ఇండివిజువల్ గా నేర్చుకోండి ఇవి, యాజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఇవే ఎంతండి. కంపారిజన్ వచ్చినప్పుడు నేనే చెప్తాను మీకు. చెప్పండి. థ్యాంక్ యూ అండి.